broke all the rules. It just there was no rhyme or reason of how this fire happened, and what did get burned and what didn't get burned. So were people prepared for them? One of the things that people don't think about Victoria a lot is it does get awfully bloody hot down here. But again, we've never had a day 48 degrees. So we lost 13 lives here in Flowerdale. So this is probably one of the worst streets. And now you can see every spare block of dirt on both sides of the road is a lost house.
Looks a lot like New Orleans in the 9th Ward.
The reason why most people will build back in Flowerdale, you will probably find that they're the people that just want this style of life, the quietness, the peacefulness, whether you call it tranquility, whatever. But they love Flowerdale for what it is, and that is just one of the weird things about Flowerdale, and what kept Anna and I here was the community itself. One of the things that really benchmarked itself very early was it really didn't matter whether you were a multi-millionaire or you'd been on the dole for the last 30 years of your life. You were a person, you had a voice, and people listened to you. And that doesn't happen in very many communities. And it's, whether you call it the resilience of the Flowerdale people or the Flowerdale community, it's extremely evident. It's becoming more evident as.
And John, what do you think the general kind of sense is about global warming? Do you think people have that notion that it changes things, or a bit of, well, it's always been like this? Does it?
So if you were going to dialogue with someone about global warming, it's not a conversation someone would walk away from. It's a conversation they'd engage you with.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say that I wouldn't put a percentage on it. That the number of people who are very strong that global warming is a strong reality. Where the other people would say, I'm not a real believer. I'd have to have more facts and to really evaluate. One of the things that I didn't think people within Flowerdale have a real big acceptance of, and that is things like windmills and those type of things. And when I talk to people in the community and just broach the subject with them, they're enormously supportive. And they'll even come out with funny little things and say, John, rather than just having white propellers going around, like, can we paint pansies on them or roses so they actually look pretty? They're really not adverse to technology. And it was one of the things while we had the CSIRO day up here, our Sustainability Expo, was one thing that we thought about very clearly is that if we were to go into a building now with 100 Flowerdalians in there and say, hey guys, who wants sustainability? And they all go, yeah, we want it. Our concern was that they'd walk around with a beer in their hand or talking to their neighbours for the next 2 weeks saying, I wonder what that means. So what we try to do is hold that day to train them on what sustainability was all about. And the CSIRO did a great job that day with community members saying, what about if we did this? And so they're our traditional homes that came from mainly from Fortescue mines over here. So each of those is what they call an SPQ, which is a 1-bedroom dwelling, double bed with a shower and toilet. So all that is plumbed up and wired up. Remembering when we first got here, we only had 35 amps of power to this site.
Right.
We needed 420, and that power had to come from 1.7 kilometres away.
Wow.
Our communal laundry, which we had set up within 2 weeks of the fire, and our toilets and our shower block, has remained the vocal point and the meeting place for a lot of people. Remembering that even if they live in tents and all the rest of it, they haven't got anywhere to do their washing and drying. So this becomes the hub for mums to come in and have a chat and talk. But it was all about the homes, the plumbing, the infrastructure, water, power, and again we had nothing here at all. So gone from an absolutely paddock to what we've got now is huge.
Fantastic.
That's one way of building a back green.
Should take a photo of that, shouldn't you? There it is.
I don't know all the answers to the right ways, but I think what we're really doing is just focusing on, you know, what we can do differently and what's available now, and yeah, those kinds of things. So, you know, I think people are just sort of not necessarily just thinking we'll just put a whole house here and we'll build it. We're really putting a lot more thought into it, so the environment comes into that.
Our society has got because we haven't taken heed of lots of natural resources and pollution and everything that is created. And so to know that this cycle is not going to continue, I think it's really important that we address these issues for our children